Commandant Somasundaram, a distinguished ICG officer with over 30 years of experience and services. In the era of students even struggling to complete one degree, he holds two PG diplomas, two PG, and a PhD. And whatnot, he's also a public speaker. Thank you so much for being here with us today, sir. And it's such a honor to be interviewing you right now. And how do you feel to be with us today, right now, sir?
First of all, thanks a lot for the lovely introduction. And also, I welcome all of you to my project site. This is called Coast Guard Project Team Timber Pond. And as you rightly introduced me, I'm an Indian Coast Guard officer for the past 32 years. Basically, I'm from Madurai, from a very ordinary middle class family. I had a childhood ambition of joining the defense forces, even from the age of 5. So I worked towards my ambition, and finally, you are seeing me as an officer who's completed 32 years, and I've just got another 1.5 years to go for my superannuation. So it's a good introduction. We'll start as we proceed with the interview. I'll further unfold my story. So there as a station commander, Port Blair. So I was looking after the entire administration and logistics of the Andaman Nicobar region, particularly catering for the logistics requirements of Coast Guard units spread all over Ind and region and also the ships. After the successful tenure, I was posted again at Pondicherry as a commander. So there, the Coast Guard station, which I started in 2006, became a district headquarters. So what I mean by district headquarters is every coastal state, whether it is Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, will have a district headquarters, Coast Guard district headquarters. So I was a commander of Coast Guard district headquarters because the unit which I founded
Okay.
rose up to the level of a district. So I had the distinction of being the station commander in my previous tenure and a district commander in 2013. So I did my tenure up to 2015 from 2013. Then I was posted in Mumbai, regional headquarters. We call it in Coast Guard. We got one Coast Guard headquarters in Delhi and 5 regional headquarters. One in Northwest, second one is West, Mumbai. Northwest we have in Gandhinagar. And
Okay.
Northeast we have in Calcutta. East we have in Chennai. And Andaman Nicobar is another. So total 5 regional
Five
headquarters.
regions.
So I was posted in Mumbai. There I was assigned a job of wherever I go, I was given the toughest job, that is raising a new unit. Like I told you about
Yes,
Pondicherry.
sir.
So Coast Guard had acquired a piece of land at Ratnagiri. Ratnagiri is a place on the coastal, on the Konkan Range. Heard about the Konkan Range?
No,
Beautiful
sir.
Western Ghats. On the Western Ghats, it's a Konkan Range.
Yes, sir.
So it is somewhere between Goa and Mumbai. Beautiful
Okay,
place.
sir.
So Coast Guard had acquired a piece of land, basically a disused airfield by the Britishers. And we developed the airfield, and we set up the first Coast Guard air station Ratnagiri there.
Okay.
So from there, I went to Karaikal. So Karaikal, I was a station commander for about 9 months. Then I got transferred to ship. There was a ship, Indian Coast Guard ship, Sagar. You can see one ship having the call sign 17, no?
Yes,
Of that
sir.
size. So I was second in command of the ship.
Okay.
So after that, Coast Guard had acquired this property inside Chennai port. We'll go down to show this place because it's about 27 acres of land.
Okay, sir.
We took this property from Chennai port on lease for 99 years.
Okay.
So I was the first, like I said, the way I raised Pondicherry, the way I raised Ratnagiri, I'm
Yes,
raising
sir.
this unit. Okay, so I've been associated with this project for the past 5. This is my 5th year. So, and also it's a proud moment for me because no officer has continued in any project in the history of Indian Coast Guard for more than 2 years.
Okay. That's actually really great,
Yeah.
sir.
So, the very fact that I've been continuing for the past 5 years, it's indicative of again my all qualities which I said.
Yes, sir,
So,
exactly.
because I'm very proud because you asked me how proud I am. So I'm really proud
Yes, sir.
because these are all facts.
So, sir, we were talking about how you joined ICG and your whole journey of how you took this. So, is there something that inspired you, someone or something that inspired you on the age of 5 to get into this?
So during my childhood, I've got two grandpas who had served in Indian National Army. Okay. So one was the trusted lieutenant of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Uh, he is no more now. His name was Muthu Krishna Pillai. So the other one was a personal photographer of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So his name was Swaminathan Pillai. So after coming from INA, he had a studio. We are from basically from Ramnad. So he had a studio called Sami Studio. So when I visited the studio, I used to see the photographs of my grandpa with Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Maybe that image must have sunk in. And also when I met the other grandfather, who was a trusted lieutenant of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In fact, he exactly looks like Kamal Hassan in Indian movie. So, in fact, during when the film was made, Kamal Hassan went to my grandpa and did a character study of him. So I got some rare photographs. I'll post it somewhere. He looks exactly like Kamal Hassan, the way, the mannerism, everything. So these are the two people who motivated, who are my inspiration. Maybe that was the reason why when my parents took me to a ready-made shop, to my memory, when I was 5 years old, that was the first Diwali shopping I could remember. So they asked me what dress you want. You can pick your dress. So there was one military uniform. So I selected the uniform, and for next 1 week I didn't remove the dress. So I was there. I was with that uniform. So from that time on, from that age onwards, I was passionate towards joining the defense forces, but I worked towards it. It's not that I had many people have their dreams, but they don't work towards a dream. So here I had a dream, I worked towards it, I achieved it. Now I'm here in front of you, having served 32 years, another with 1.5 years. Maybe that is the thing which motivated me to join a career guidance academy in Madurai, because Madurai is a socially and economically backward area. So there are a lot of people like me who don't know about the defense services, career opportunities in defense forces. So I want to guide them. Maybe it will be like a social service. So that my target is to at least help people, boys and girls. Now even the girls can join the National Defense Academy. At least minimum 10, including both boys and girls, from Tamil Nadu, because I want the representation of Tamil Nadu in defense services. So I think I'm on the right mission.
You are actually a living example, sir. So I have heard that every person who is well disciplined will have a habit. Do you have any specific habit of playing any sports or something?
Yeah, I play golf.
Okay.
I play golf during my weekend leisure. So Saturday, Sunday, it's golf from early morning till around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I play golf. That keeps me going because I get to meet my colleagues there in the golf field and people from different walks of life. I play in 3 different golf courses in Chennai. Officers Training Academy, here we got Palm Grove Island Ground, and third one is Madras Race Course. So in Madras Race Course, I get to see the civil crowd. When I say civil crowd, people from all walks of life, businessmen, doctors, engineers. In the other two golf courses, I get to see the defense people from all other services, Army, Air Force, and Navy. So that's a good interaction. So I am quite passionate about golf also, because golf is a game which you can play as long as you can walk.
Yes, sir.
So that's a good game.
Yes, sir. That's actually nice that you're interested in something. And I know that you're interested in reading books a lot. Yeah. Is there any specific book or any generalized book that you would like to recommend to students?
Basically, whatever I'm today, I'm basically a self-made man with, of course, some proper guidance by the teachers and parents. But I used to read a lot of self-help books. Now, apart from self-help books, there's all called pop psychology books. But the thing which really motivated me was Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. So I strongly recommend to the students, even my daughters, I keep telling you, it's only 90 pages plus, very short novel, but the motivating power of the novel is so immense that whenever I, on many occasions at sea, whenever I feel like little down, I used to read the novel and I used to get motivated. the novel. So this one I recommend because it's a short read. Maybe you can within 2 hours you can finish the novel, but the lesson which it gives is throughout your life.
Yes, yeah. And talking about books, the way we learn right now and the way people before in the before era used to learn differs a lot. Like the resources they used to get is from library. These days we have digital ebooks and a lot more to gain knowledge. Which one do you think is efficient and which thing you would recommend more to students these days?
No, I'm from old school of reading. So whenever I used to read a book, I used to take a pencil. I used to make short notes, and I used to make a lot of remarks, footnotes, side notes, all these things. This is my way of reading. But of late, when I completed my PhD, there are a lot of material, study materials available on internet. So I tried to print as much as possible, but the volume of the study material was so huge. Then I started reading in e-print only. And e-print, of course, there is a facility you can highlight and all, but nothing compared to that having the penciling your side notes and footnotes. And the advantage of it is whenever you, so I got a lot of old books in my library. So whenever I refer to the old books, because whenever I read a book, I mention the date and time also, so that when I read the book again, okay, this book I read some so many years at that time. So I sometimes I write the location also. At sea where I don't, there's no location. At sea, open sea, I write the latitude and longitude. So just for this thing. So it gives me a sense of, yes, I've read that. For example, the Somerset Maugham short stories, and I've read a lot. So every short story I used to write date, time, and latitude, longitude, because at sea, no, those days, I'm talking about 20, 30 years before, when we were cadets, we used to sail like ancient mariners. There was no source of entertainment. Of course, now with the satellite connection, we got TV, we got the live broadcast, everything. But those days, there was no entertainment. So, what is the best way to kill other than reading books? So, I used to read all my knowledge I gained at sea only. Of course, from college, but college is only syllabus oriented. So, here at sea, I used to read a lot of books. It's a wide and of course in-depth reading, but the sphere of reading books was quite huge. Let's see.
And talking about sea, uh, is there any specific incident that happened, stays in you, like a happy memory or something that happened that impacted you on the sea?
See, one particular incident I would like to narrate. When I was commanding a ship, ICGS Ganga Dev in Port Blair, I took over the ship in April 2004. And December 2004, after the next day after Christmas, it was actually a weekend. So generally, tourist season picks up in Port Blair after October, November. No. So I got up early because sunrise at Port Blair generally is around 4:30 to 5 o'clock. So I got up early and I was just preparing to take my family for a short trip. There is close by Mount Harriet, a picnic spot, Mount Harriet. I wanted to take my family. So I was getting ready. I could see something is happening. It was the entire thing was sort of a disturbance. So I thought something happened. Maybe I'm suffering from low blood pressure or something. So I sat on the ground. I saw the ceiling fan was oscillating. It was touching the roof, and then I could all my crockery fell off from the shelf from the dining hall. So I realized that something has happened because Port Blair as such is earthquake prone zone. We are in the rings of fire, we call it, where the India plate and Burma plate. There's a joining, so tectonic plates. So I immediately sensed that it's an earthquake. So I alerted my family and I rushed them, pushed them literally out of the door, and I was doing all the precautions. Generally, during earthquake, a lot of precautions you have to take. You have to switch off the power supply, close the gas cylinder, all these things. So I was religiously doing. My wife and family, I really pushed them because I was in the first floor. So then by the time they went down, so I finished everything and rushed down. I could see the building literally oscillating because we were staying in a Coast Guard area. It was ground plus 4 configuration. The entire building, all buildings inside the area were literally swaying. So it was really Really a miraculous escape. So, but I was worried about my ship because my ship was under refit. Refit is whenever you give your car for servicing. No, similarly, ships we go for periodic maintenance. We call it refit. My ship was under refit at Port Blair. Port Blair, there is a place called Phoenix Bay Jetty. It's a inter-island passenger terminal. So, as I told you earlier, there are 572 islands in Port Blair, in Aden. In that, 39 islands are inhabited. The only way of commute is by inter-island passenger ships. So, 7 o'clock is the time in which all the ships will sail out, generally. So, more so during the tourist season. This when the tsunami struck, it was around 6:15, 6:20 something. So, I was worried about my ship. What would have happened to my ship? So those days there was no mobile, so I got a call on my landline. The landline was inside again my house, so I could sense some problem. So I rushed back. My family was not allowing me. I said, no, I have to go and pick up the call. Maybe some. There's no other means of communicating with the ship, so there was no mobile. I rushed and attended the phone. My second in command said, "Sir, ship is flooded." So he didn't give me any other picture. He said, "Sir, ship is flooded and we are trying to save the ship." So I rushed down immediately, started my car and proceeded towards the inter-island passenger terminal. When I was nearing, I could see people rushing out because I said, as I told you earlier, it was a busy time. 7 o'clock is the casting off of all the inter-island passenger ships. So with the local people plus the tourist people, it was a mad crowd. So they were all rushing out of the passenger island terminal. I couldn't realize what would have happened. So somebody was shouting, "It's flood! It's flood! It's flood!" So I know for sure it's not flood because floods happened at rivers only, no, at sea. Somehow, because I've read a lot about the tsunami in theory, but I realized that this was tsunami. So I parked my car somewhere very far off and I walked towards a passenger terminal. People are rushing, and I was the only guy walking towards the jetty. So while I was, people were pulling me out because I was in t-shirt and pants. So I said, people are shouting, "You are a madman! You're going towards a flood." So I said, no, I have to go. So when I approached the gate, I could see my ship on the jetty. Generally, jetty is like this and ship will be like this, like you saw here. The ship was like this and it was flooded. Water was flooded. So I could, I could realize because earthquake triggered tsunami. It is tsunami. So how to reach the ship? Because people are not allowing me. By the time water was, it was knee high. Now it was rising up to my hip. So I swam across the thing and I reached my ship. Ship was like this. So I told them to lower the tire fender. You know, old tires we used to tie to the rope. So the ship goes alongside. The ship's side hull should not get damaged. So we have a sort of a cushion. That's called fender. We call it fender. So the tire fender. So I told him to lower one fender and I got into the tire fender and I told them to lift me up. So I went on board, being the captain of the ship because it was Sunday, if I remember clearly. So as such, the ship was under refit. Only 1/3 of the ship's crew will be there almost. So I was having a complement of 36 sailors. Only 12 sailors were there. The officer on duty was there. So plus me, so about 14 of us. So 14 of us means the ship was floating. It was like this during high water. Generally, high water and low water happens within a cycle of 6 hours regularly. That time on that particular day, ship was 5 minutes like this, 5 minutes like this. So here there is no danger because we got a wall. Here is a danger because what will happen? When the water is receding and the ship's hull tips off, what will happen? It will capsize and topple. So we all will get capsized. So I don't know what best way to save the ship because inter-island passenger ship, it's like this shape. My ship was at the corner. All the other ships, they were abandoned. The captains and the crew abandoned. They left the ship and the ships were all adrift. The passengers and all were running. Total panic situation. We were the only Coast Guard ship inside the passenger terminal. Since we are from disciplined armed force, we were all there. So now the question is how to save the ship. We didn't have any clue. some providence occurred to me, and what I did was the front portion of the ship is called stem or forecastle. The backward portion of the ship is called quarterdeck. So what I did was, there is no machinery and equipment, because we removed all the machinery equipment for refit, for overhauling. Even the anchors were all removed. Ship was just like a floating box, to put it exactly. So my immediate worry was to save the ship, because as per the maritime tradition, if the ship goes down, the captain should go down. It's a matter of honor and prestige for the captain. He cannot leave the ship. So what I did was, okay, now how to save the ship? The backward portion of the ship, we call it quarterdeck. Luckily, I showed you one tug, huge tugs which pushes and pull the merchant ships. So there were two tugs behind me. So I told my sailors to fasten the quarterdeck with the tugs. Now the quarterdeck is secured. What happens is the front portion is yawing like this. Ship is like this. Backward portion is secured. Front portion is yawing. It's again in danger. Anything can happen anytime. Now, having secured the quarterdeck, so what I did was, when the ship was coming close to the jetty, there was a diver. So I told him to jump into the water. His only instruction to the diver was, when the ship comes here, we have a rope. We call it head rope, which ties the ship's head towards the jetty. Jetty, we got a structure called bollards. You must have seen a pin-like structure. The rope will be passed onto the bollard. Ship is safe. So I told him, the only instruction is, he should, when the ship comes, head rope, he should fasten onto the bollard. But the high water comes, his life itself is in danger. So I told him, there is a passenger terminal. He is to go and take shelter in the passenger terminal. How he will take shelter? There is a huge window sill. He is to climb onto the sill and stand there till the time water recedes. When the time water recedes, he should jump into water and fasten the head rope. This drill we continued from 7:30 till 10:30 for next 3 hours. So to sum it up will be very easy, but the 3 hours is a huge struggle, because anything would have happened to anybody. Now, while we are trying to save the ship, what happened? All the abandoned ships, not only the passenger ships, other barges, because inter-island, not only the passengers or tranship, but also the materials. Okay, even the building materials and other things. So all the barges, they are all transshipped by means of barges. Even the barges which were left abandoned, they were all closing onto my ship. They were all some 7 structures, one on top of another. They were, as I told you, I was in the corner. All the 7 ships were coming, different classes, and they were all coming huge, one on top of another. If they come and crash with me or collide with me, I will also my ship will also be jeopardized. So we didn't know really what to do. But while we were saving the ship, so this side is a huge structure, 7 structures closing in on us. So what we did was, I said all my 12 people in the ship side, right side of the ship, we call it starboard side. There is a guardrail. Guardrail is the one which prevents going overboard. So guardrail, and the guardrail is supported by stanchions. Stanchions are the post. So I placed one sailor each on every stanchion. So his job only was to push it. See, a weight of any structure in water is almost reduced to 10%. So with little bit of resistance, we can at least prevent or avoid the floating structures, floating mass, 7 numbers, colliding with my ship. That was the idea. So while we were trying to resist. Meanwhile, what happened? We heard a lot of cries from one of the barges. So I sent this diver along with another 2 more persons to find out what has happened. So just like this, the first barge, we saw one old man, about 70 years old, deaf and dumb. He was really crying for help, for his life. So my people got onto the barge and rescued him. There were other living things like dogs and all. We rescued everything. And I told them to bring it on my ship. They were all there. At least We were the only ship in that inter-island passenger terminal who were trying to rescue ourselves, rescuing others. So this drill continued for the next 3 days like this. We were all close in on board the ship, and we didn't go because my family. I didn't know what happened to my family. There was no communication. There was no landline, BSNL, everything. There was no mobile at all. So we didn't know what to do. But ship, we were because I was as a captain. I was supposed to be on board ship. I was there. So other sailors were also there. So what we did was the rest of the sailors who were with their families. I told them to take care of the other families. I passed messages, and that's all. Somehow this happened on 26th of December. Somehow on 30th December, somehow the power got restored and BSNL connection got restored. BSNL was the only connection. So we were all closed up in the forecastle. That's the front portion of the ship. Around 7:30, I got a call from the ship's landline. We call it landline. So my duty quartermaster sailor who is on duty. We change watches every 4 hours. He picked up the call. He said, "Sir, somebody is calling from Madurai, my hometown." So I thought must be my parents. I went and picked up my ball. It was my professor, Dr. Paul Love, from the American college. So he was really worried about my whereabouts because he was hearing a lot of reports about the tsunami, devastation of tsunami. Like a true mentor, he was my teacher and my mentor also. He was really worried. He tried frantically for the past 4 days. Finally, he got me on 30th. So when I played the ball, I couldn't control myself. I was crying. Sailors are all watching what happened to captain because they could somehow. So other Professor Nair and there's one other Pramila Paul madam. So all three spoke to me and made me. They comforted me. I said no. I told them all these things happened. They said we are very proud of you. So it was a very moving. So after that, what happened? This happened. This was a really moving incident. Whatever I can say is a badge of courage or honor. This is one thing I will consider. And of course, I was awarded with the DG Director General Coast Guard's commendation for the saving the ship. So that was this. I wear it as a badge of courage and honor on my uniform. But that badge of courage, and because I left, I studied in American College in 1992. Tsunami happened in 2004. So that is the bond between the teachers and the students in our college. So that was a very moving moment. I will remember till my last breath. And what happened? I was finding it difficult managing both the ships and both the ship as well as the family. So what happened? 31st December, there was an Air Force aircraft arranged for especially flying our families. So I put all my family. I went by the time tsunami receded. 31st December, I went home. I packed my family and I put them on board the aircraft. They were not leaving. I said no. For me, ship is the priority. I have to go back. So I put them on the aircraft. I saw them off and came back to ship. I couldn't control myself. I went to my captain's cabin and sat there and cried as I wrote. I wept as I wrote. I wrote as I wept. There is a navigation data book in ship. Every ship is supposed to maintain. The captain is supposed to record any unusual thing which happens on board the ship. That is an archive of a ship's activities. Every ship will have. At the time of decommissioning, that navigation data book will go to the archive cell. It will remain there till the organization is there. It's such a prestigious thing. So I sat there in my cabin. I took the navigation data book. I wrote in my hand. I kept on writing for next 3 hours. Okay, I was weeping also. I was writing also. It was very. I can't forget that. Yeah. So the next day, the Director General came. He visited Port Blair. He came to know. So he came to know about the ship's escape also. He came to my ship and he said, "Really, we are very proud of you, Captain." So that was again. This I will remember. Of course, there are many incidents, many adventures at sea, but this one particular incident where your life is in danger, The ship which you are commanding is in danger. The men you are commanding, they are on danger. In addition, we are in a passenger terminal where we have to be a role model for others. So we can't abandon. We could not have abandoned the way the civilians abandoned us. That is where the difference between a defense officer and a civilian. Okay, this is where. So, but this was entirely we didn't know that because after that tsunami, a lot of relief camps came up, and one day I was watching a TV, one ad came. Somebody had filmed the ship's escape. It was a short snippet because there was a government guest house overlooking the passenger terminal. Some tourists must have taken the video clip. So it is there in YouTube. You can check in YouTube also. My ships, it is there. I will show you. So that was a great because I think I've done my job as a captain on that particular. Yeah, that was a very proud moment.
I guess you didn't just make your team or your professors proud. I think everyone who heard this thing would be really proud
Yeah,
of you. Because you were the only captain to be there, and it was the only ship that
yeah.
was actually saved. And as a final note, do you have something to say to this generation students and to the youth?
See now, when we study, no, like I will not say like an oldie. During our days, the choices were very limited. Either you go to engineering or agriculture or medical, medicine, arts and science. Now the options are plenty. Though the options are plenty in studies, but the career opportunities are still limited. For example, whatever you study, your career opportunities are getting very narrow. Of course, you can say that we got vertical specialization, everything. But somehow the younger generation is not aware about the career opportunities in the defense services. So the career opportunities and defense services make you a complete man or woman. Like the way that's what I started my journey as an ordinary middle class family man, and where I landed at all because of the service, the training which it imparted, the knowledge which I gained, the experience I had. So I want to translate all these things to the younger generation by means of giving motivational lectures to schools and colleges, which I've already started. So with the superannuation coming very close by, I'm going to start one education trust. It's basically a trust for education and environment. I've named it a Taru. Taru means it's a tree basically. So I have selected the palm tree as my emblem. So palm tree is one which is useful from the bark to the root, and also it's a only tree which is totally environment friendly. It is proven that when a palm tree is there, at least in the next 1,000 feet around, 1,000 square feet around, the water will be clean and everything. So that way, it's totally environment friendly. So I've started maybe the second career will be giving motivational lectures to schools and colleges. That is why I agreed to this program also, because this will reach the students, and you people should not limit your career opportunities only to the IT. Of course, we take people in defense forces from IT background also. We require you, we need you, and the country needs you. Okay, so this is my final note I would like to say.
Thank you so much to be with here today, sir. And I personally was moved by your story, and I hope and wish you well for everything you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.